Shalom. This is Yerasimos Drosos, aka Malki Tzaddik. That's a name our creator gave me. Anyway, I got the notice here stating that it is a strong preference of the department that if a violation exists in the matters be resolved without the necessity of enforcement action. Accordingly, you are asked to contact me within 10 days of the date of this letter to set a date and time to meet to determine if code violations does exist and to discuss a plan to resolve the violations. I may be reached at 719. Okay, so I have, or email, I have contacted twice already, let them know the people are gone. They were actually in Abba's will. It was right that the letter came out on the 18th. That's when God told me it was time for them to go. He was telling me, and I kept it going. And anyway, it's all rightfully so. But I need now, I have a property that is not secure. The man broke my gate by accident as he was doing excavating. It needs to be fixed. They don't have the part in that it needs. There's an open trench with electrical wire in. I have caution tape all over the place and keep out signs. My place is rented for the whole summer. I need to take care of this with my son. And it's just basically, we both have EDS, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, if you would like to look it up. That's why we look normal, but we're peculiar, and we have all kinds of symptoms, and we're disabled in so many different ways. It's hard to count. He just made us different that way. So what he wants me to say today too is, he actually told me I was going to just stay a couple days to secure the place and leave, and then when Abba brings somebody to take care of the electrical. See, the way this whole thing started was because of COVID. That family got stuck here. I told them to come stay here because my place was vacant and I was stuck in Arizona. And I told them to stay, and they stayed in the house. Because I was in Arizona, and my insurance policy said that if your place is vacant, it's not covered under all kinds of things if it's not being rented. And so I was kind of stuck. And anyway, with this COVID thing, so I told him, come stay. Well, when the time came for guests to come, most people canceled most of the time, and then it came to where guests started coming. They had no place to go. And I said, well, you could go in the forest, you could go there. And he says, well, I said, you could go down to the bottom of the property. And he was worried that he couldn't get his trailer down there. So he on his own rented an excavator and started excavating. And he asked me, he says, are you interested in, I have this excavator, are you interested in doing some like little campsites or whatever? And I said, yeah, actually Abba wanted, and what I mean by campsites is you can't get a trailer down here. He had to have somebody come and tow him out. So we're talking tent camping on the Feast of Sukkot, which is Feast of Tabernacles. That's when, that's actually Jesus' real birthday. That's where anyway, it's his real birthday, and people go and they stay in tents. And I've had that vision that he wanted me to do this here for our family. So I said, yes, go ahead. And I said, actually, if you have if you can find a way to get a trench down from the hot tub down to the bottom of the property, I want to put power and water down there. They need water anyway. To build the road, the county said they need either a big tank, which I bought other tanks, smaller tanks, for water because they're worried about fire. And so I thought, okay, well, if I have water down there, they'll approve that too. But I'm not doing any building, so it doesn't matter. I'm not doing anything building which is needed for you. But anyway, this is all how Abba works. This is how the Creator works in me. I just kind of listen and do. So, he on his own made a pathway and made a trench and opened up the hole, and I'm like, okay, here we go. And I thought, okay, I need to start this thing, so I'll put in it for a permit, and I'll find an electrician. I said we could start this. We'll find an electrician to finish the end, because we're not electricians. Well, that was my plan all along, but it's been very hard to find an electrician up here um, to do these things. And so what happened is the inspector came out and said we did something wrong, and it was kind of like we had to have the road covered in order to travel. No big deal. I paid an extra $50 for an extra visit. But he laid something on me I didn't expect. He says, you can't pay somebody to come to do this. I go, what do you mean? And he's like, yeah, when you have a owner's permit, it's not for a contractor to do. I'm like, oh my goodness. I go, you want me to do this, don't you? And Abba's telling me, yes, I want you to do this with your son. And he's very technical. He's my body. He does all these things for me that I can't do. He's my driver now. I'm very blessed by him. And we're building our relationship now stronger than ever. And it's hard because, he has his problems too. He hurt his shoulder. Last time we were up here, I have to take him down to Arizona to go to physical therapy. So he has his issues too. He's getting up now. Anyway, so here we are. And I expected all this stuff to be done by now, but it's not. And because we don't know what we're doing, and he's guided us into this whole thing. Now he wants me to whatever down here. He wants me to get this electrical done, and have the gate fixed, and secure the place, and have these things, and build this stronger relationship that I'm building with my eldest son. He's going to trade school next month, and I'm real excited for him. It's like something that he really wants to do. He's going to go into aviation maintenance, and maybe he can work for the airline my wife worked for as well. He's going to miss his flight benefits once he gets to be 21. So I think he wants to do that anyway. Anyway, so where are we going with that? So Abba told me, Abba meaning the creator, Abba means father. He's actually told me that I'm Eliyahu. I'm the Elijah prophet. I've been fulfilling prophecies in Israel and all over the place. Not knowing, actually, people blame this COVID thing on me. I've actually asked for judgments to come to the legal systems of the world, and that's why it's now going to be all torn apart. In all honesty, it's going to be this whole thing we know is man's laws and all that kind of stuff is going to go. What I saw coming, well, let's just put it this way. It makes Nazi, Hitler, Germany time, World War II look like nothing. When they start vaccinating, when you start seeing as we get closer to the election. I saw this before. If you look at my Facebook, I already prophesied all these things would happen. I said that every black and white would fight. I said male and female would fight. This is years ago. And he even told me that the North and South Pole would fight now too. What does that mean? Probably Nibiru. The whole Earth's going to shift. So I'm preparing this. We're not breaking your laws. We're not breaking any laws except for this whole thing. But this was COVID exists. If you want to put me under the law for that, then may judgments come upon you. See, that's what I'm here to do. Their laws were made for a purpose. And were they not made so that they wouldn't have cesspools of filth and health department problems and people living in the mountains who don't know who is who? You know who I am. I don't hide anything. I've even offered the county to come. But now he's saying, no, no more. That family that was here, that's not going to count. They were here because they were stuck because of this biological thing. And if it has to do with any government officials as well, then may cursings come upon them too. You see, the judgments are coming now. Eliyahu has fire of the mouth, its frequency. When he rises up in me in anger, some of you have seen. When he rises up in anger and comes out of my mouth, I have no control. I let him go. He sets the angels and they flow through me. You see, when you're one with him, you're one with the host of the heavens too. So I have authority there. Nothing here. I'm just a fool to you. All you can see is, what's he doing is weird. Well, you know what? Maybe it's, what do you call it? I'm disabled. Many body movements, but I forgot the name of it. I've been diagnosed with so many different things. But let's just put it this way, just so you know what I'm actually doing. This is the bride trimming her lampstand with light. See, all this has to do with our aura in different bodies. And in every body, I'm able to then, I have a bow, and I'm the arrow. So the bow is literally a rainbow, and it's a rainbow of colors. And I can fight within those realms. Only with Yah's laws. You see, he had a plan for his laws to come down all along. See, man's laws have turned into ways for people to make clubs and little, well, there's small towns kind of stuff. See, I see that with my neighbor. Why does he know when the inspectors come in? Why does he know all these things? Why do the inspectors know everything? They've come to the land. I've offered him here, but no, he had to come and see it from the neighbor's land. And he thinks, oh, you're building RV sites? Nah, come and look. You think you can get an RV up there? I can barely get my Ranger up there. But that's okay. Let the neighbor say. Let the neighbor be judged because I'm judging his heart. You think after 50 years I'd have complaints from other neighbors. I've had houses all over. I'm from Greece. My family's from Greece. I have a house there. I've had multiple houses. I've rented places too. You think neighbors, I would have history of something. But no. Apparently if I own a dog, it's vicious. And it kills the deer, which never has any, my dog's done anything like that. He actually knew this dog, and he called it this, and he called the police and the sheriff on me. This is the things that he does because he hates me. Why? Because he doesn't understand my disease. He doesn't understand. I'm walking on, right now, I've got a torn muscle, 14 stitches, because I thought I would try to be normal and ride an electric bike. And I fell off, and the muscle was just totally torn and exposed, and I had to have it stitched up, and I'm walking on it now. I'm doing all kinds of things through pains, but that's what makes me angry. It's just, I do it through adrenaline. But at the same time, I get angry and I yell. I can't help it. It's like the Hulk kind of thing. So when my neighbor came over and called me a disability fraud because he saw me build a gate with my family, he has no clue. I try to explain to him what I have. But he doesn't want to know because he's small-minded too. He wants to be in the wilderness alone. He's told me many times he hates people. So why is it that he bought the property right next to me? Next to me. He hated me before he did that. We were friends. All of a sudden we weren't. But he bought the property next to me. Why? When he knows who I am. So now he's offended. I literally parked my RV, my camper. I guess it was probably 60, 70, 80 feet away, maybe even further, from his property line, and he was still offended. He says, can't you build your road over there? So I did. And now he's calling the authorities on me that I built to hide in my property. So he can't even see. I'm as far away from him as possible. Actually, the reason he called the authorities is because he keeps stalking me every day. I feel him. Do you know what it feels like to be watched all the time? To actually have your dog, to feel like somebody's outside your door in the night, looking in your window, and then have your dog start barking. You just feel, Well, that's what I feel with my neighbor too. Every day he comes through and he's looking. What is he doing? What is my neighbor doing? And he gets a coalition against me? No, made judgments come, and they call themselves Christians too. They didn't care that family that was here lost their baby within the same month, just the months prior, all this COVID stuff at the same time, lost their baby. They had to do a surgery while she was pregnant. And then it was born, and then it was in ICU and specialty hospitals and all these things, and lost his dad. His dad was a doctor, and he was born dead, revived. And I realized he has some disabilities too. And lost him within a month, and then no place to go. And Yah brought him here to offer his gift. And it was beautiful. It's exactly what I've imagined. It was actually his plan all along. See, my plan was I was going to build a little pole barn or whatever, a garage down here. And my neighbor stopped it. But my stuff would all have been inside of it. And he told the building department I was going to grow cannabis. Because I told him, I said, my medicine is costing me so much. And it was always to grow food. He always knew that. I told him what I was here to do all along. I'm in the mountains. When it's time, we need to look for my family to grow our own food and to be able to take care of ourselves, because I know we're not going to be able to with the future that holds. But you know what? That's okay. Let the judgments come. That's what I'm here to do. I judge hearts. You could judge with man's laws. That's okay too. We're supposed to. But when it takes over Yah's laws, that's where it fails you. Because I have a right to bring you to God's courts, to his judgments. I don't do it. It's him in me. But I watch as he blesses and curses too. Because he is here to prove his laws to be valid. That's what he's here to do. See, the age, I can judge by your own laws too. If you want to judge by man's laws, I have the right to curse you and say any man's laws that you break, you will be cursed that way. See, I have a right to do that because that's what you say. And as a matter of fact, I did that to a man not very long ago. I said, okay. He told me God's laws didn't matter, only man's law. I said, okay, I'll prove it so. Now you could be judged by man's laws too. Every law that you break, may you be cursed to through and through. May there be no grace for you. May there be no grace for you had no grace for others too. So I have a right to do what my Abba, my Creator, tells me to do. I have a right to do that. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Woo. I feel him coming through. Thank you, Father. Shachare kurumaya romim, ipitorumaya samayo chaim, ibiromaya torumakanamsi, ipishumaya chomaya chomim, ipiturumaya manasarakam, ipitumaya shonayam chanam. So what he's telling me to tell you now, anybody going against Yah's laws is cursed under the law of Yahweh. And the time of the grace is over now. See, he gave us 2,000 years to come into Jesus and to come into the truth. But we stayed at Jesus in this lie of we have a right to sin. We have a right to make our own laws against God's too. Well, I'm a sovereign national. And I just listen to what my Yah says. So if you want to take disciplinary action, I have a right to do the same to you. See, I'm ready to go in front of the courts and the police and everybody. He's been telling me this is how it comes. Because anybody that goes against Eliyahu, I have a right to speak against with fire of frequency. That's what I do. It's him in me. I can't help it. He told me a long time ago that I was a judge. I had the stick. This stick has the 10 Commandments on it. It's written in Paleo-Hebrew, Proto-Canaanite. Anyway, what I'm saying is, he brought me this stick. See, I have a right, and it was twisted. The laws, the 6th and 7th commandment was twisted. And I said, why, Abba? Why'd you let that happen to me? He goes, because you can judge them now with their own laws too. See, I'm here to only judge the holy places, the holy of holies and the bride. But when people come to me and bring me to man's laws, when I'm not harming anybody and doing anything wrong to my neighbors, I had to listen to his generator for years. I had to listen to his every single day. He's working, and I'm sitting in there, and he looks down upon me, and I used to feel so jealous of him. He said, "Look, Abba, that man can build his wife a whole house out of scratch. What a blessing that is." He says, "Yes, but he has a heart of stone too. You have a heart of flesh. You can't do those things. But you can judge him too." See, it was all about them. They didn't care about their neighbor at all. It's all about them. They're bigots too. I remember them from 10 years ago. I remember the way they think. I like good people. Doesn't matter what they look like or anything. I test what's in here. They told me they're Christian. Do they do what the Messiah said to do? Love thy neighbor as thyself? No, all they see is laws, and if they stay in that laws, that's a good Christian too. Well, I tell you what. Why don't you read it? It's Yahoo 24, Isaiah 24, and you'll see that the reason all this calamity is coming to the earth is because we broke God's laws. We changed his laws and broke the everlasting covenant. And I'm here to bring it back. You see. That's why he had me do what I did on Mount of Olives. That was fulfilling prophecy. It's to bring judgments to the world. Our lamb's name was Keter Corona. And he told me the head would become the tail, and the tail would become the head. That's what's coming. So take pride all you want right now within your authorities. There's a higher authority coming from heaven. Hallelujah. May his name be known throughout the lands too. And may they know that you can't go against somebody that follows his laws. Because his laws are righteous and holy. And when you follow them, you can't be cursed. And if you don't, you can. See, we had this age of grace, this 2,000 years. But I'm sorry to say it's over. I'm not harming anybody or my neighbor. I'm here to take care of my property, God's property, what he gave me to take care of for him. One day, his children are going to come. It's my family. I thought it was my immediate family. I thought I was supposed to stay hidden. But no. This whole mountains are going to be filled with God's people. Because that's what he chooses to do. See, when we went on Pikes Peak, when I stared at the sun, at the noontime sun, how the doctors have said I have not burned my eyes yet. But it's because of him. And we declared that this mountain and these places are holy for God. And may his people come up, and may the evil go out. You see, may all the unholy people go off these mountains, and may Yah's holy people come up. Those who believe in the Messiah. The ones you know is Jesus, but not the way you know him, because he looked and acted like a Jew. Well, actually not a Jew today, but I'm trying to say he followed Yah's laws. And he said, "Who is my mother and who is my brother? But those who follow the commandments of my Father." He had said to the man when he asked him, "What do I need to do to enter heaven?" He says, "Follow Yah's commandments. Follow the Father's commandments. That's all you have to do." "Oh, but I do that." No, you don't do it properly because you need to give all your wealth to the needy. Well, this he shares with me is one day going to be all the mountains up here. It's all going to be filled with God's people to protect themselves from what's down there. Because do you have any idea what's coming? And you think I'm your enemy? Oh my goodness. May you have eyes to see. They're going to come get you too if you don't watch out. They're going to come get you too. See, there's a deep state that wants a new world order, and they want it all controlled under one authority. And that authority will be Obama, you see. God showed him to me 30 years ago with the Pope too. So, let's wait and see. As all these things that he tells me comes through, I have no fear that he will bless and curse you too. It's all about following the laws. So Somebody needs to give a mandate or delete this times the months before, because I need to stay here right now and take care of this before I go and take care of business in Israel when they allow me to, or when they call me to. See, that's why he won't let me cut my hair. I'm the one that's supposed to slaughter the ox at the temple. I'm the high priest of the land, you see. I'm Eliyahu, Elijah, the prophet, the Tishbi. His frequency enters into me, that's all. That's all we are, as avatars, and we can either allow lower kingdom stuff in, demons, or we can allow higher ones' frequencies. And I carry the frequency of Elijah, you see. So, and I'm sovereign under my king. I have to follow your laws as long as they don't encroach mine too. And the man that told me, he says, well, we have to find out which is which. Because as soon as I break his laws or breaking his laws, then, well, whose wins, honey? Who's going to win this battle? Is it Yah or you? Or because you're here to keep laws? Well, that's what I'm here to do. You see, if you broke any Sabbath, if you broke any commandment, if you lied to, I have authority to bring judgments to you. You don't think so? Oh, I can take you to the judge of Yah. I've seen it over and over again. Why do you think McCain's dead? And that guy, Sessions is gone too. All these things, he tells me what to do. Are you going to tell me? No, I'm sorry. I'm not bothering anybody. I'm here with my son, trying to take care of business. And if you want to see, and you're afraid, you want to see my camp site? The kids made a fort there. If you want to see my campsite, those things are up at the top of the house for 10 years. I finally got them down here because I had help too. But if you're wondering where the sewage is going, it goes into there, and I take it up to the septic that's up at the top of the house. I don't see me doing anything wrong. But if you do, then may judgments come. May judgments come. I'm here in the woods. And look, now I can actually enjoy my property. Do you think anything can go up these hills? It just fits my Ranger. But now I can enjoy my property and see all the land too. I couldn't before. I wasn't physically able to. Now I can at times. I work on adrenaline. I can do crazy things too. But you know what? I've been misjudged my whole life. And that's why he says, I'm going to make you a righteous judge now too. Why? Because he knows I won't bring false judgments on people. Because it's happened to me my whole life. So, let the judgments come. I'm ready for them. I'm ready to go before your judges and your courts and your system. I'm not afraid to do my Father's will. He's had me change laws in Israel. All by just listening and doing. You see, we're disabled, and I need to fix that. We need to fix this thing. We don't have extra money. I can't even find people to do these things. So the man that was here, that was helping me, thank God for him. He helped me. But it was time for him to go too. He had to serve his own family. So anyway, we'll see. But I got this blessing of a ready-made shed 2 miles away. And we have to finish this electrical. finish these things. And I don't know how. But guess what? I've never used the extra time for my disabilities, and I've been diagnosed with everything. So I'm going to ask all of you, you have to accommodate for disabled people too. And if you don't, we'll see what happens. Because I'm just a prophet of Yahweh, a prophet of God. Listening to do. We don't have wood for this winter. We have to clean up all the down wood from years ago. That was done. And that's what we're doing. We're taking care of the property. How? I don't know. Maybe he'll bring me somebody else to do labor. Because I'm literally working on... All my joints are damaged, you see. The fact that I'm raising my arm, 2 surgeons said it wouldn't happen. I was supposed to have surgery a few months ago, but this COVID thing canceled it. But I'm still doing things on it. But it causes me pain. But that pain, what I do, when I feel it, he makes me act out. And it goes against evil. So I'm here to test your hearts. I've already tested my neighbors and found them wanting. They said that they're Christians too, but they don't follow Yah's laws, and they don't even follow the law of love, or loving your neighbor as yourself. Don't they know? They don't care. All they see is, well, they're like Nazis. All they see is, breaking the law. They stayed there too many days. He's literally counting the days. I actually knew that. Abba told me that was going to happen. I actually told the people, I said, well, I'm sure my neighbor's counting the days. And he what? I'm not sure he got him right. But he was more interested than I was. I just listened to my Yah. He tells me what to do. It was time for them to go. But it's time for me to stay too. And I don't want to. I'd love to go back to Arizona with my family. But right now he wants my son up here, which is very good for him. You see, he's a teenager now. And this is the age of difficult things. And I'm so glad that he's here with me. And he's actually in my hands and my body. And I'm thankful for him. Even though I know he hurts too. But he's like I was back then. We get in this place, it's where a lot of the ADD comes from, but you come out of your body in order to do things, and that's what I did my whole life. And whatever brings me to my body here brings me to hell and makes me feel the pain and the fear. I literally, every time my neighbor comes by, I start having a panic attack. Every time he comes by now, I start having a panic attack because my adrenaline starts running and I start getting angry. But then, guess what? It makes me work too. That's what made me start putting the fence up. That got him angry. He called in. He'd been there 55 days. my guests. They were my guests. They were actually God's guests. Here to do a job. They did it. It's time to go. But the job isn't finished. And I need you to know, we need extra time. We need extra time. And if you don't give it, well, I don't know. I just have to listen to my Yah. Sorry, I listened to him over you. See, there's a higher law than yours that I have to follow too. Shalom, shalom, may peace be upon you, if it belongs there. If it doesn't, may it be a curse too, because that's all that light does, right? My neighbor shine a light on me to expose me breaking man's laws. Well, I'm here to expose man breaking Yah's laws too. There's a higher kingdom than you. Shalom, shalom.